Kick-ass facts! Some interesting reasons people have been arrested. Pew, 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 pew! A Missouri man broke into multiple women's houses to tell them he respects them in celebration of International Women's Day. The 23-year-old woman was riding shotgun in a car when it was pulled over in Gainesville, Georgia for a routine traffic stop. When police searched her bag, they found a spoon that was covered in a mysterious residue. She said it was dirty because she'd been eating SpaghettiOs and she wanted to return the spoon to her friend. Officers said it might be meth, so they conducted a field test, which came back positive. She was charged with possession of methamphetamine and spent 2 weeks behind bars before being released. She was later thrown back in jail for a month and a half until more thorough lab results on the spoon came back. It was SpaghettiOs all along. In 2017, a Wyoming man was arrested claiming he traveled from 2048 to warn us of an alien invasion. He was trying to warn the town that aliens would be arriving next year. It was 2017. Everyone's fine. He was arrested for public intoxication. A 26-year-old and a 30-year-old were booked on cocaine trafficking charges in Pennsylvania when police officers refused to believe that the 2 bars of homemade soap in the car were not actually cocaine. When officers found the soap in the car, they tested it and it came back positive. Maybe these field tests aren't so reliable. The pair spent the next month in jail, presumably unable to post bail. The charges were eventually dropped after the state lab turned up no traces of illicit substances. A homeowner called the police to report a man taking things from his car and poured gasoline around his yard. When police arrived, they found the naked 26-year-old lying in the grass. He wouldn't tell the police officers his name. He only said he may be Jesus. In 2012, school districts in Meridian, Mississippi came under heavy scrutiny because students were regularly being referred to juvenile detention centers and incarcerated for things like dress code violations, flatulence, profanity, and disrespect. Don't come around here on a Saturday night. In 2008, a 13-year-old Florida student was arrested and hauled off to the police station after disrupting the class by farting and turning off other kids' computers. A Maine man was arrested for paddling to Canada on an air mattress he bought at Walmart. A North Carolina man was arrested and sent to jail for saying the word fuck in public. He was released without bond, and when he returned to court the next month, he was sentenced to 10 days in jail. He was allowed to serve his time at home while wearing an electronic monitoring device. A mother in South Carolina was grocery shopping at a Kroger when she was arrested for disorderly conduct. According to the incident report, she yelled at her children, "Stop squishing the fucking bread." Another woman at the store then approached her and asked her to stop using that language with her children. The mom replied she was telling her husband to stop squishing the fucking bread because he kept throwing frozen pizzas on top of it. Justified. According to the North Augusta law, disorderly conduct can occur if a person happens to utter while in a state of anger in the presence of another any body, lewd, or obscene words or epithets. The South Carolina state law's definition of the misdemeanor includes use obscene or profane language on any highway, at any public place or gathering or in hearing distance of a schoolhouse or church. An Ohio woman was arrested in October 2008 for not returning a football that landed in her yard when kids were playing in the street. One of the kids' dads called the cops. The old lady was warned twice and then arrested when she failed to accept the citation. She was charged with petty theft, but the case was later dropped. She then sued the parents that called the police, claiming she suffered emotional distress because footballs kept landing on her yard. A New York police officer arrested 3 people, charging them with drug possession after finding some crystalline rocks of solid material on the suspects. A field test reportedly came back positive, which was enough to put the trio behind bars for 24 hours. Jolly Ranchers. Wrapped Jolly Ranchers. A Florida man was charged with assault with a deadly weapon for throwing a live alligator through a Wendy's drive-thru window in an attempt to prank someone he knew who worked there. In Lake County, Florida, a homeless woman was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct after allegedly dancing in a vulgar manner in front of a school bus full of children. She was twerking. The arresting officer claimed she was also screaming profanities at the bus. A 24-year-old man was arrested for pretending to be a ghost. He thought he was being funny by scaring someone who was visiting a loved one's tombstone. He snuck up and yelled "boo" in their ear. The police concluded that he was under the influence of alcohol. Be serious. A 45-year-old woman who was not excited to see her mugshot on the cover of a local newspaper, finding herself ugly in the picture, called the police to make a complaint. This type of useless call to the police is actually a crime for wasting their time, so the police suggested she come back to the station to take a new picture, and they made a second arrest. In 2008, a man was arrested for trying to mate with a picnic table. Apparently, it wasn't the first time. Some neighbors stated he had an attraction to outdoor furniture. Another man was arrested for having sex with an inflatable pink pool raft.